What if the internet went away?
Go back to print and newspaper. Start writing things down on banners and signs, right?
Welcome to Marketing Made Me podcast, the most powerful marketing podcast in the universe. I'm Angie, and this is Ari.
I'm Ari. What up?
So today's topic is content creation. Something I think that we know a little bit about. I mean, who doesn't though, right? I mean, we're in the
Can't assume.
But we are in the age of apps.
Yep.
So people, there's a term called user-generated content for a reason.
Yep.
Because we're all making content. If you're on Facebook, you're making content. If you're tweeting, I mean, I've even heard you can consider tweet blogging. It's a version of short form blogging.
Writing a paper, sending a text, taking pictures and
taking a picture, putting a filter on it.
That's content creation too, right? So I think the span of content creation is pretty wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, you know, like the biggest thing is in marketing, like we've discussed before, is as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, how do you develop content to get your message out, right? Yes, in terms of business. True, right?
Just
in general, content creation is the act of, I guess, I don't have the Webster dictionary.
What's the professional? I mean,
content creation is, I guess, building content, but it's the action of typing, writing on paper, right? Speaking, it's everything, right?
Yeah, audio.
Or capturing it. Content creation would be capturing all those factors, because if I tell you and I speak to you, that's it. But if we record it, I'm speaking to you, then we're considering, and then we share it later, multiple times. That's content.
Yes.
I guess, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
That's not a whole. This went sideways.
That's really a really good point, though. How deep can you go with it? How far can you take it? You know, this is the direction of the world that we live in. And it's just getting more and more immersed in our everyday lives. We have these apps now we could jump on, and
it's easy.
They have built-in templates.
Easy peasy, drop and paste.
To do it. And it just depends how much energy you want to put into it. We obviously use it.
Yep.
We obviously create content. That's the main.
For you out there.
Yeah, it's all for you guys.
Yeah.
For you watching.
There's all a lot of pros and cons to content creation. Let's probably chat about pros and cons, because there's a lot of amazing things when you're producing content, but then there's a lot of cons for not producing content, right? For me, the biggest thing is consistency. Like, hey, you do a post this week, you do a post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then you're dark the next 2 weeks. That's horseshit. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, I'd much rather you post every week consistently, because when you build content, there's this cycle of engagement that you need to keep people looped in. Yeah. And then keep changing it so they're always engaged, right?
Yeah, and it just makes me think of when our podcast drops. We drop on Mondays, and coincidentally, a lot of people use Mondays as Marketing Mondays, right? I hear that term all the time, and we didn't even plan that, and then I was like, oh, what's on Mondays? Marketing Mondays. Yeah. So that is our consistent schedule, and then we have our team. We all pitch in, and we, try and plug in little teasers, clips. So many tools out there to help you, but the amazing thing about doing something like what we are doing, such as a podcast, in that one act, you can use this one piece of content and repurpose it into so many other different avenues. And that's why we wanted to do the podcast.
Yeah. Share the information we have, our experiences, in hopes that it helps somebody else. Or it's kind of fun shooting a podcast, but not easy, but it's having these conversations kind of roll. But I guess too, like when you think of content creation, there's this niche, there's this message you want to get out to a certain people in person, right? Because I still truly believe, coming from more of a sales background, it's like you can cast a net and sell to the world, which is amazing if you're
we talked about that.
Pepsi or Coca-Cola, but if you're this small little tiny brand from the western United States in the city of Lakewood and you want to see something, it's like you have to kind of direct your message to be able to get your message out there in the next round.
So still targeted.
Still targeted, but still having people
still
become
relevant
ambassadors for your brand. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So. And I love that term, ambassador.
Yeah.
When somebody's an ambassador for your brand, that is the best sort of advertisement you could get, because they're going to spread the good word about the good service or product that they got from you. So ambassadors are so invaluable. I mean, another term you can use for them is like a raving fan. You can turn a customer to a raving fan, like, you know, because people are. Where did I hear this the other day? It's always a scale from 1 to 5, right? Who are going to rate the reviews? The people that had the best experience or the people that had the worst experience?
Shit experience.
Yes.
It's like an
It's never neutral.
Never.
It's not like, oh, it was average. Let me go right and say this was average.
Yeah, you're right.
No, they're either going to be like, hell yeah, or hell no.
It was horrible. Yeah. Trust me, I see
I need to tell everybody.
I see it all the time. I mean, I just saw something come out. I mean, I'm going to stay away from names and names and events, but there's an amazing city that this organization did. It was, for the younger generation at that growth stage, and based on the pandemic and everything we've gone through in business, there's a little bit of lag time because of supply chain, right?
Yes.
And then someone responds to like, well, it took you guys so long. Like, really? Like wow, like, come on, man.
Right.
So again, one of those things.
Sometimes there's a means to the end, right? A means to the end, I think is how you say it.
Yeah.
Some people don't enjoy processes or journeys. I'm always reading like self-help books and try and enjoy the journey as much as possible.
So I'm going to ask you, because I see this in like these platforms I read. It's like, I feel like some of the content creation is kind of bullshit, but at the same time, it could be real. It's getting so muffled right now with media and influencers and viral videos that how do we know what's real?
Yeah.
Versus like, and then somebody just coming in, oh my God, that sounds great, and I'm just gonna listen to them, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, you're like living in this world, right? So, like, there's a lot of strategy behind content creation, and we're seeing it across the board everywhere, right? I mean, obviously, like days of the Super Bowl, Budweiser, frog ads are done, but now it's like, it's these messages and connecting with the people, because, I mean, it's crazy to think that you build content and then you have so many followers that you can possibly email, or these people don't even email anymore or text message. They're just become influencers. Now people follow them. They're just like, so their dopamine is like so engaged in what they're going to do, what they're going to do next, right? It's like, man, it's crazy. Like with all this, content creation and these TikToks and these YouTubes, like everybody wants to get to the high level views, TikTok, high level views, YouTube, but how do you get there?
Yeah.
I mean, relevant content's always a thing.
Consistency, like you said.
Consistency, or just being engaged in that person. If you like that person, you're going to follow that person, right? So, I mean, I don't know. It's just such a wide world right now with a lot of things.
Yeah, it's saturated.
Yeah, that too.
It's saturated, and who knows when a change will happen in the way we are, using these apps, social media apps in particular. Will there be a disruption soon? Because we talked about in the last episode, like what if the internet went away?
Go back to print and newspaper. Start writing things down on banners and signs, right? I mean, gosh, like. Let's just take history back a little bit.
What if it went away?
Like back in the days when, like, you guys even know what wheat pasting is?
Okay, I could guess.
Are you that young?
I could guess. Is it newspaper related?
Yeah, so kind of like, remember when Obey came on the scene and they would just like...
I love Obey.
Put those big things on the side of the buildings or on cement walls, and they just like used like... I saw it at Joann's fabric store the other day. It's like this hodgepodge glue, and they just glue it onto the cement wall. It's like wheat pasting. Like, that's like creating content for, like, he had like Andre the Giant everywhere in the world, or like Banksy.
Yes.
Like Banksy, right? He has these famous like images of paintings of the girl, and then the mouse, and then the old school cop. Like like creating content like that, but across a different medium, right?
Yeah,
so
that is a definitely a different
for like
medium.
business or a person, like what do you want to do? Like I think half the battle is finding what you want to do and creating content around that.
Oh yeah.
If you want to be a sewer, you sew and take pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids play games, and these kids are on YouTube watching them play games. Like
I know.
It's crazy, like, right? I mean,
who does that?
Do you do that? But I don't know. Like they're creating content. It's like, man, like now that I think about this world of content creation, it's everything.
Yeah. You can record
everything.
yourself. I mean, they have people recording themselves sleeping and in a camera in their apartment 24/7. You can watch people live.
What?
It's like a live Sims cam. Yeah.
I thought Sims was a game.
It is. But there's also a real life YouTube.
That's crazy.
Thing.
I guess what's the difference between that and looking at your security cam at your house to make sure no one's robbing you, right?
Well, that's not
or you're
really
watching your dog not tearing up the house. Like I do that shit all the time. My dog's in the house.
Yeah, I saw that on Shark Tank one time, a product where you could call your dog.
Well, I have a camera in there.
But do they know that you're...
Yeah, if I'm going to scream from this camera, now it's going to be like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like, don't be fucking eating the couch
I wonder
up.
what they're thinking. Okay, that's another topic. I always, think if they're like, what the hell? They're probably like freaking out. Like, I hear my owner, I don't see him.
So there's a great question on here. Content creator versus influencer. Like, what's the difference? Ooh, that's a open-ended question.
I mean, I think content creation is where you start. This reminds me of a quote. You start off unknown and you end unforgettable.
Ooh, that's heavy. That's a good one.
Yeah, from my boy JT Fox. Shout out to you. I'm winking at him. Just kidding.
How do I define that? Content creator, man. I mean, jeez.
I mean, anybody can be a content creator. Influencers when you're getting paid for it.
Or influencers has the database.
Mm-hmm.
They have a database.
They have the eyeballs.
They have the eyeballs.
They have the attention.
They have the attention already.
Which is the new currency.
Correct. Yes, that's where I was going. That's the new dollar is eyeballs on you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hence why TikTok's so famous. YouTube, you can make money. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I can't remember the guy's name, but there's a kid that's like the biggest guy on TikTok and making a ridiculous amount of money. Okay, I've seen his TikToks. To me, he does comparisons. He sees the YouTube hacks and he does them real life to see if they work. And now this kid is making, like, no joke, like $75,000 a post or something. To me, that is crazy. $75,000.
Yeah.
For one TikTok post.
I mean, gosh, when you look at, oh man, this is not, now we're getting deep into the content creation. Like when I watch the news, because that's what I do, and then after that I go on YouTube and I follow things of my interests. Mm-hmm. And then now I look at all these people, but I'll follow random things too, like, God, that solves this puzzle, like this crazy like puzzles.
Oh, the Rubik's Cube?
The puzzles, like these crazy cool puzzles. At the same time, I'll watch athletics and I'll watch all the things that I'm into, whether it's fishing, cars, or fighting, all the way down the line. So that's an open-ended question, content creation, man. Just build content, post it, get it out there. People like it. Repurpose it, get it out there and put it in people's faces through an email database and a constant
or
a MailChimp. I don't know.
So one thing I like to do too is kind of like a hack, or maybe it's not a hack, probably everybody knows this, but any YouTube video I watch, you can download the transcript.
What the fuck is that?
The copy of it, the words repurposed in text, the audio.
Oh, that's just beyond my pay grade, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
So you could repurpose your content. You can make the video, you could download the transcription. It becomes to a blog.
Oh, the verbal transcription.
Right.
Oh, I thought you meant the back end, like coding.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, got it. I'm like, you're going to repurpose coding and letters and characters and X's and zeros.
So one piece of content creation can just go so many places. You can tackle so many things. And that's what we do with our podcast. We make clips. We use, the clips we use, or the software we use for the clips is called Descript. That's a really good little clip. You saw they show the words and all that. It's like super engaging, right? They say you have to have the captions on your video now.
Yeah.
Because people just scroll on mute now. So even on YouTube video, I love that YouTube automatically transcribes the captions for you. If you don't have to do that. Like, that's super helpful.
Yeah.
Because imagine if we had to like type it out.
Here's a question for you in the process, because you're the expert on content creation. It's like, at one point in time, how deep do you go in like you're creating content? Like if you're creating content for yourself as a marketing
personal brand.
Yeah. Do you start just doing it when you're at businesses, or do you like start letting people into your life?
So if you look at I use my social media for different levels of my audience. If you have my Snapchat, you really know me.
Can we use Snapchat still?
It's private. So Snapchat is like my private friends. Facebook is my family, very PC. But then I have a page is for my personal brand. People can like it, they can follow me, and that's where they see like.
Where's that personal one at?
My personal what?
Oh, it's a personal homepage.
Facebook, I have my personal account that I hardly post on because that's for old people, and I'm sure you're on that.
Yeah, I am on it.
So
I'm on it.
So yeah. Okay, talking about old. I don't think you know the demographics for Snapchat. It definitely ain't 50-year-olds. Okay. So
I'm okay with that.
So Facebook personal account is for, I hardly ever post on that, but I do have a page that's connected to my Instagram. So everything on my Instagram goes to that page.
Oh, got it.
And you're not going to see that content unless you actively have liked it. So which means you really are a fan of me. You do want to see recreational things I do, as opposed to just being a friend and a family.
Got it. I see what you're saying.
And so I keep it separate because things I do, like I tend to be at entertainment events and stuff. Like,
yeah. I get it.
That's more for fun. Yeah. I don't show everybody that. I don't show my family that. That's not why they're friends with me. They're friends because they know me. And so yeah, I use social media for different things. My different accounts are for different things. And then TikTok, I try and do the lip sync challenges.
TikTok's cool. I go on TikTok and lurk.
Okay.
I don't see myself on TikTok.
So you have an account?
I don't. I think my daughter uses one, but I think I'm going to start one now that you talk about it.
I mean, it's addicting sometimes, but I haven't been on it very recently.
You just gave me a great idea. I'm going to start one every second and fourth Tuesdays of the month.
What are you going to post on there?
I don't know. I have an idea now. You just got my brain spinning on it. Okay. Thank you.
You're gonna launch TikTok? Yeah.
I'm gonna launch TikTok.
I fully support that. Let us know what your handle is next episode.
I will.
Or next 2 episodes.
I will.
And then we'll follow you. Follow us. Speaking of TikToks, follow Marketing Made Me on TikTok and follow Marketing Made Me on Instagram. We don't have a Snapchat because,
I'm too
that's
old.
not our demographic.
I'm too old for it.
But yeah, so I mean, do I have a content strategy? Those are my personal accounts. My Instagram really is where I kind of go just to show people that I'm out and about. It's not business based.
Well, because your strategy is to show who you are as a person.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. I mean, I truly believe everything has to have a strategy. If you don't have a strategy, then you're just.
Well, my Instagram, I mean, if you follow me, you'll see that, I work with a lot of artists and stuff, and that's kind of my audience. So
got it.
I just put content from behind the scenes and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't plan that content out for sure. Yeah. But for Marketing Made Me, we do have a calendar. We do, put down different posts that we're going to plan and schedule for the week.
Yeah.
We like to do quote posts, the clips, the teasers, and yeah, I mean, I think quote posts are always something you can fall back on. They're very easy.
Yep.
You can put your own spin on them, give your own 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
So if we don't know what to post, like I always go to that. Like I would use that JT quote all day long. Like he's supposed to be like the #1 wealth coach in the world.
Wealth coach?
Yeah. He's from Canada.
I need wealth. I need wealth. We all need wealth.
Yeah, for sure. I do like to quote him. He's a good person to follow.
So how do you know, and I'm asking you this just speaking out loud, because maybe people in YouTube land are people, how do you know if the information you're putting out, if the content is old or is it new?
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, timing for sure does take you should consider it in your strategy for sure. One thing that sticks out to me is something like a holiday. Holiday is a good time to capitalize, promote your business. It's an excuse, a message, a reason to put a message out or a post out, but it expires because the holiday will come and go, right? Correct. And then you have this old post that's there on your feed that, you know, it's not 4th of July anymore. Luckily, you know, Instagram has tools you can archive stuff like that. But yeah, timing is definitely everything. So that's why you should think ahead. I think the end of September is International Podcast Day.
Is it?
Yeah.
What, everybody around the world is going to start podcasting?
I don't know.
Everybody's.
I saw it somewhere. Don't take my word for it. Yeah,
I swear to God, there's like an international day for everything.
Exactly.
Nowadays.
But Podcast Day, we're going to go ahead and jump
siblings,
on that one.
Parents, friend day.
I know.
There's shoe day.
Did you post to your daughter?
Skate day. I did. Skate day, surf day. There's podcast day. There's going to be coffee day. There's going to be phone. Get off your phone day.
And it's a reason for sure to use it as an easy excuse to help create content.
There should be International Follow Us on SoCal Maybe Day. So you can get on our damn channel. I don't know, like, right? I mean, gosh, everything's a day now.
Yeah. No, it helps though fill in some gaps if you're lacking ideas. You know,
or content.
Yeah, and you just you're like, hey, it's today's International Coffee Day. Let's talk about the coffee we love to drink. You know.
I guess my biggest
I like French vanilla.
My biggest takeaway from content creation is just put it out there and see what happens.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you know,
nobody
also
follows you.
Scheduling.
So when you look at this, you got to look at it from the angle of strategic planning for this. Meaning you have to schedule correctly. You have to make sure you get the right info at the right time to the right people. You got to make sure you speak the right language to the people you're selling to. You have to make sure that you support that by supporting content, but not overbearing everybody with too much content. And then follow up in hopes to get the conversation with that person. Then when you do get the conversation, then you'll know how to repurpose that whole process you went for the next round, right?
Right.
So it's all full circle.
And there's two ways to look at it too, because everything we talk about too is business focused. When I talk about my social media, mine's more personal branding, right? And it kind of feels like similar to cold calling, lead generations. When you start putting out energy into the world, you tend to attract leads. You get inbound leads, you get brand awareness. My Instagram is heavy on events and stuff like that. As such, I get a lot of artists hitting me up because they see me out on the scene.
Okay, I see what you got it.
You know, and they're like, hey, how can I get on that show? You know, so you're being strategic. For the personal branding is a little bit not as scheduled as our marketing made me.
But you're strategic in that you're making sure the content you're getting out, you're speaking to a specific niche of artists in hopes that their networking circle looks at you. When they look at you, they say, hey, I want to bring her on because she's worked with them. And she's able to bring like sponsorship dollars. She's bring entertainers together. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so that's like the personal branding side. If you guys follow Gary Vee, you know, he always says that you really should lead with your personal brand. I always am like in conflict about that, right? Like, what do you lead with? Do you lead with your business? Do you lead with your personal name? When you think of Gary Vee, you know him by his name, right? But then you know that he does marketing. He has a company, VaynerMedia. But I don't see anything about VaynerMedia now that I think about it.
He's going to buy the freaking jets, man.
Yeah, like, he
makes lots of money.
Oh, hell
I love his videos of him going garage sale.
Trash talk?
Trash talk. He goes to garage sales like, yo, I'm going to buy all these toys for $15.
I can't believe he does that.
And he sells them on the internet before he even gets in the car by $30 each, and he's bought like 20 of them for like $20. That's business. That's hustle, right? So that's his content. I get drawn to that. You know, he's like that.
Yeah, and all he's doing is content. And so what's happening? Is he cold calling people? No. He's not. Because of all the content that he makes, his phone is ringing. So that's why content creation is super valuable. You want to generate inbound leads. And that will definitely help you do it.
Cool.
So,
all right.
I think that did a great talk today on content creation. Till next time, guys.
Put content out there.
On the next episode. Don't forget to follow us. We're on TikTok. We're definitely on YouTube. Go to marketingmademe.com. Subscribe. Hit that like button right now. Next episode, we will be talking about public relations. So, see you then.